What up? It's your boy Bazz, and you tuned in to another episode of Ian's podcast, man. This podcast, man, we're gonna talk about a conversation that's a real, and I only reason why I say it's real because I feel like that's something that's real in the black community, for real. Especially you grew up in the hood, any inner city or something like that, man. Probably either you, somebody you love, somebody you know, somebody you encounter has suffered for some form of PTSD, which is a mental health condition. You feel me? So I'm gonna go a little bit more into it, um, like and talk about it in particular. The the research that I've done is coming from the research of Mayo Clinic, um, and they define PTSD as post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a mental health condition that is triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. Some of the symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety as a result, as an uncontrollable thought about the event. Um, Most people who go through the event might even have temporary difficulty adjusting or coping, but with time and good self-care, they usually get better. Sometimes the symptoms get worse, you feel me, and last and interfere with your day-to-day, you feel me, which for some individuals you might see that happen to them, and some individuals you might see them go through it and you might see them bounce back. um, but now I want to kind of go into like on a more deeper note. We kind of got the definition and shit like that. Now let's have a real ass conversation. You feel me? And I'm gonna just talk about my own personal experience, and then and the reason why was because, for one, we got the platform to connect and have these type of conversations. But I love how on G Herbo PTSD, how, man, from Juice World to G Herbo to Uzi Vert to Chance the Rapper, they all had they verses, and they part where they basically spoke about PTSD and how it affected them. You feel me? The experiences, and now the effect, you feel me, of that. You feel me? So something for me that I know that affected me, which I had conversation with individuals that have been diagnosed with PTSD. They told me that they feel like that is PTSD in certain forms of fashion. But I have not been and I was telling them I have not been diagnosed with it, so I don't want to go out there. And that's why I was kind of nervous about having these type of conversations, because it's I don't want to go out there and say that when I ain't really got I ain't never been diagnosed or nothing like that. But they niggas coming from a credible source, and if the N word just made you feel uncomfortable, hey, I apologize, but I can't ask for permission. I ask for forgiveness. Just please forgive me. As but long story short, man, it was when I was young, a couple years after I got shot at, whatever. But that was traumatizing. But that wasn't the same as when I got robbed. Because when I got robbed close to home, and I was coming home from football practice. You feel me? I'm young. You feel me? Dude creeped up behind me. You feel me? Broad daylight. You feel me? He was just on that. You feel me? Gun in my face. You feel me? And it was I grew up on the east side of Detroit, so I seen a lot growing up. I was accustomed to that was going on around me. You feel me? But at the same time, I wasn't expecting for it to happen at that given point of moment, and especially that close to home. Damn, I'm in my own hood and shit. You feel me? But ever since then, I always had a certain guard up too, and a certain more it's other things that happened too, and I had certain other guards up, but I don't really like being creeped up on and stuff like that. You feel me? And no, I don't know. It just it throw me off. You feel me? And I get kind of my response be kind of it be having a little bit of anger to it, damn, don't do that. You feel me? Type shit. But I had to understand where was that really coming from. You feel me? I don't I've been robbed before and shit. I ain't trying to let somebody creep up on me. You feel me? And it I don't want my reaction. Well, you probably don't know. So let me stop saying Well, it's just I don't don't want to, like, at the same time, it's like you always try to keep your guard. So when you creep up on me, it's like, damn, you just kind of just got me. And I'm kind of like in a mode where I feel like I got to be ready for something. But it's you. You feel me, type shit. And then, what's kind of funny was I used to like to scare people and shit like that. Not like scare them, but like hi, be like, what's up? You feel me? Like, I got you type shit. Like, until somebody did it to me and I was like, damn, that shit really fucked me up. Like, this shit really fucked me up type shit. And it was just like, I had to really understand, like, and after that, like, I said, I ain't doing that shit to nobody else because I understand, like, what it does to me. You feel me? When somebody really get me and they be like, damn, I feel like I really just got. Like, you feel me? Like, I really almost had a chance of getting got type shit, like, and they be like, damn, it really fucked with me. Like, damn, you can't let your guard, ooh. But then that's like, PTSD, you feel me? Like, I always feel like I gotta be guarded. I always gotta be protected and stuff like that. And I'm always, going, like, and it's based off on, that experience. And it was funny because it was like, that's why I like music so much too, and I always talk about it, and that's why we always, always try to bring music into what we do too. It's because it is, a form of expression, but it's people using their voices, you feel me, to basically shed light on certain subjects that maybe will go quiet, you feel me, in the public ears if it didn't come from them or didn't come from this genre, like, and I'm talking hip hop, other things of that nature too, but like other, bands and other musicians have did it too. I will never discredit them either. You feel me? Just music in general. People use music to tell, the truth, their truths of what they're going through or what they dealing with. You feel me? And sometimes, these are some of the things that they deal with. So I'm gonna go on a Chance to Rap verse. Y'all can find this on G Herbo PTSD. But the verse go like this. I used to run home from the train station. Stop. Running so fast, dodging raindrops. Remember, got robbed at the park once. Remember thinking that bitch probably ain't caught. Remember, I was with my mama one time, seen a nigga through the glass get hit. Hit a nigga with a bank shot. Point blank, head banging off his tank top. Walked off. We drove off. Went to GameStop. Quiet ride there, picked up San Andreas, certain things we ain't talk about, mama, we just prayed off. We sent all, don't get involved, carry the weight of the world like a shawl, concealed and revealing to people in court. I still can feel it. I know that the world is evil. In case you thought a nigga forgot it, when my homies was bleeding out, another homie went in his pockets. Please don't run up on me, not even as a fan. Niggas get fanned down on that Dan Ryan, I'm flying. I'm scary as hell. I need me a Zan. So the only reason why I got to go into that, and then it was just going off of just when he was just talking about just the whole instance of when he was just, like, getting robbed. Like I remember when I got robbed, I wasn't even thinking that bitch wasn't cocked, like, honestly, because I had like friends and shit like that got killed from getting robbed. You feel me? And even at that time, like, even at that age, I already experienced, you feel me, individuals that, you feel me, I cared about. I lost them to, you feel me, robbery, like, type shit. So it was like, you feel me, like, I don't know, just in my mind said one thing, that bitch probably ain't caught. My mind was probably thinking like, damn, I can't really hesitate because he might blow my ass. So like that whole feeling was like, you don't want to go through that feeling again. And then knowing what the odds are, it was like I always try to, like, try to stay guarded and protected. And somebody was telling me, you feel me, that was they was like, damn, like, bro, like, that's kind of like, PTSD and shit, like, and they was diagnosed with it. But for me, it was like, I ain't even want to accept it right then and there because I'm like, man, I ain't never been diagnosed with it from a doctor. I don't really want to go out there and say it, or I don't want to talk about it, like, nothing like that. But I talk about it with, with certain individuals that we can have that type of conversation with. But like I said, one of the blessings, like, as far as like, niggas like G Herbo and all the way down to Uzi Vert, all of them, Chance the Rapper, Juice WRLD, you feel me? They utilize their voices and their platforms. So I'm like, damn, let me go ahead and utilize and do the same, you feel me? And we can start really having these conversations too, because it's a podcast, we can really have conversation and really talk about certain topics that you or somebody that you may be dealing with, you may be going through, and you don't realize it ends is making the most out of your current circumstance. So it's like, how is you really getting through that? Like, how, you feel me? So this is how we had them type of conversations. So I'm gonna utilize this platform just for that. So if anybody that's out there, you feel me, you fighting, you getting through it, we want to hear your story. We want to have that type of conversation with you. And if you're not even open up to really like having that type of conversation, like going into like the why, but just going into like the how you can do it. You feel me? Like, I understand it may be a day by day grind. You feel me? And for everybody, you feel me, all their struggles are different. You feel me? Everybody's struggles are different. Like I said, it could be, a day-to-day type thing. It could be a short term. It could last. You feel me? Or just be triggered. You feel me? So I understand everybody's situation and things is different. So then it's like going about it may be different. And you feel me? Our stories, our voices help us be able to relate to one another. And you feel me? We get empowered by hearing each other stories and voices and shit like that. Like, damn, like you got a similar story to me, but you pushing through that motherfucker. Hell yeah, I could do that shit too. Like, you a man just like I'm a man, or you a woman just like I'm a woman, or you came from where I came from, or stuff like that. Hell yeah, big ups to you. I could do this shit too. Hell yeah, let's get it. Yeah, let's keep fighting the good fight type shit. So I'm not, going on here saying like, I suffer from severe PTSD and nothing like that, but I understand and I know individuals that are, you feel me, suffering from like, severe PTSD, and things of that nature. And really, and just really just understanding that, like, you feel me, and trying to empower that shit, you feel me, because in this day and age, shit, we got the platforms and the things like Facebook, man. We go on Facebook, man. You see people share and talk about everything, and some people they do talk about those type of things and they get bashed for it. But it's like really connecting with individuals that are trying to have them same type of conversations, just like you, and that find value in your conversation, and it might become very therapeutic for you. You feel me, in a sense. But I want to go into like another part that kind of stood out to me, and this was from Juice WRLD, and he said it in his course. He said, I proved you wrong, I made it out of here. I don't belong, I see my past everywhere. Don't stand close to me. Internal PTSD. I got a war zone inside my head. I made it out on my own. They said I'd be in jail or dead. I've seen my brothers fall over and over again. Don't stand too close to me. I got PTSD. And, three of these brothers are from Chicago. Chicago has been going through it, especially on the South Side, just with the violence and stuff like that. But it's a lot of individuals, you feel me, you see them, you feel me, feel uncomfortable in the club. They don't really like standing around in big crowds. They always on guard. You feel me? They can't really stand with individuals behind them and stuff like that. Like, you gotta really, like kind of be mindful of that and really understand. You feel me? And it's like, I think that's where the awareness come in. That once people start to become more aware, we start to become more understanding. You feel me? And understanding, like the individual, like, damn. And it's an honor of, and it's sort of like a respect to, like, damn, like you've been through some shit. I can see that. You feel me? Like, I can see that. Like, damn, let me, consider that some shit. Like consider that, or take that into some type of merit or some something like that. Because sometimes you might not know what an individual might be going through or why they have a certain reaction or certain reaction to things. So it's like another, like just going back into where, they was just talking about, forms of PTSD, just being avoidance, like, people, places and things that remind you of like a, traumatic experience. You feel me? Like, if you've been jumped and you've been like jumped, you probably ain't gonna really like like too many individuals you don't know surrounding you because you're trying to like make sure that like they ain't up to nothing, like type deal, or like you trying to peep what's going on in the scenario, but you're doing all that based off of an experience that you already had or experience that you have seen that you didn't want to happen to you. So you living in that fear. You always trying to stay guarded for that moment that it may happen. But you only do that in certain scenarios though. You feel me? Like you only do that in certain scenarios, so certain scenarios only trigger that in you. So man, it get kind of deep, man. So just going back into that, and just relating that to what I feel like what Juice WRLD was also saying, don't stand too close to me. And a lot of them had ended their verses or their chorus with don't stand too close to me, I got PTSD. Or they had that in their rhymes. But really, it's just like a lot of us are fighting these internal demons alone because we choose to, I don't know. Everybody fight is different. Some people choose to hide it. Some people don't even know what they're fighting. Some people are still trying to understand it. So I ain't gonna just go on a limb. I'm gonna just say, like, even like for me, I ain't want to talk about it because I'm like, I don't know if it was just like, I was like, I don't know if I really even got it. I don't want to be just talking about something and just, you feel me? Like, he's like, oh, you ain't really got PTSD. You ain't diagnosed with it or not, woo, woo. And try to be like, try to call me out or something. I'd be like, I understand. Like, I ain't saying like, I ain't go to a doctor and they told me that. I just been told by individuals that do have it. Like, yeah. But in a sense, though, talking to them empowered me, though. Like, for real. Because it was like seeing them fight that fight on a day-to-day. And then by them talking about it, it gave me a real understanding about them, but it also understanding about myself, too. You feel me? Like, it started to bring, like, as I was saying, it started to bring awareness. And I had to start like kind of self-reflecting and looking at myself. And as we have these conversations, it's bringing out those self-reflecting questions. You feel me? It bring out those self-reflecting questions where you have to not just analyze the situation, but analyze yourself. You feel me? In the situation. Like, why do you want to react that way? Like, why is that your first reaction? Like, why you feel like you gotta have an aggressive response, like not even an aggressive response, but like, why do you think your response things have to be that certain type of way? Like, it's crazy. I've seen people that be like jumpy or something like that, and they be like, and like, I remember when I was young, I was like, damn, like a shorty did that one time. I'm like, damn, like, I was just trying to, say what's up, like try to get your attention with it, like, no, she was like, oh, my bad, I just didn't, just didn't know that was you. And then like, I know that like she kept doing it. I'm like, damn, like, but then I got to know her, then I understood like what she went through when she was younger. You feel me? When that shit was deep. But then you got to understand the person. I'm like, damn, you strong as hell though. You feel me? Like, you a strong ass individual. You feel me? You are a strong ass individual because you still fighting that good fight. You going through it, but then you just understanding what you're dealing with. And, but then that's tough. But you're a tough individual. So. Hey, man, for all y'all tough individuals that's dealing with any mental health issues, man, y'all tough. Y'all deserve a fucking award, you feel me? But keep fighting that good fight and fight it to the best of your advantage, man. You feel me? Like, fight the good fight. But it's your boy Bazz. Like I said, I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off. And if anybody want to hop on the podcast, man, and talk with your boy and shed some light on the situation, or just have a conversation, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Check in with us, man. We're gonna invite y'all on the next podcast. It's your boy Bazz, and I'm out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Don't forget to subscribe. Man, show us some love, man. Go ahead, subscribe. You feel me? Go like us on Instagram, on Facebook, whichever one you really vibing with. And we on Pinterest if you really want to show some love. But go ahead and subscribe. It's your boy Bazz, and this is Ian's podcast. Ian's the family. We out of here. Peace.